Hello and welcome on 360 Sport on Trust TV. I am Adeni G. Shafe. Time to take you around the world of sport as we look at those activities happening right now. We start with the NPFL, matches that were not played on Saturday, Sunday. They'll be talking about those matches that will be coming up right now. Gombe United versus Plateau United, Nasarawa versus Remo Stars. Those matches will be coming up as we speak right now. Those games are ongoing. We just have to look at Gombe, Plateau, Nasarawa, Remo. Nasarawa will be fighting hard. They want to make sure they leave the position. They are talking about the fact that they are down the bottom of the table and they just have to get it right against Remo Stars. And Plateau United also want to see how they can add more to the point. Now I have in the studio Emmanuel Fashemi. Fashemi, let's look at this together.
Yeah, Nasarawa United from the onset, at the beginning of the season, they started poorly and they didn't really show like a team that has actually had a lot of good preparation during the preseason. I know they came from one preseason tournament in Abuja here and a couple of other preseason tournaments they went to. I think one in Gombe and one other states because I was following them closely. And at the beginning of the season, they started poorly and they were able to redeem their image a little bit against another struggling team, that is Kwara United. That was a weekend ago, thereabout. And right now, into the game that is going up, they need to win this game so that they can actually go out from that relegation zone that they are. Because if nothing happens in the next, because the second half of the season will be starting after the whole general elections in Nigeria, because they will be going on, IMC has said they will go on a break. So if they don't get it right at the beginning of the second half of the league, then they should expect themselves to be playing the NNL. But for Plateau United, they want to win this game and then go second on the table because they are on 14 points, and then closely followed by, because Aqua United is on second position right now, they have Plateau United have 14 points, and then with a 6-goal difference, and then for Aqua United, who won their game over the weekend, they drew their game, and then they were able to push Plateau United down to the third position. So if Plateau United wins this game that is going on against Gombe United, they are very close. It's a northern, let me say, a middle belt team and then a northern team. So they are close. It's not the distance from Plateau State to Gombe. It's not up to, let's say, 6 hours. I think 6 hours thereabout. So, but for Plateau United, if they win this game at the end of 90 minutes, they will go up to second position following Bendel Insurance. So they want to win this game so that they can go to that second position. That is what Plateau United will just do with Fidelis Ilechko there.
Still looking at the fact that these games are ongoing right now between those four clubs are fighting. Talking about Nasarawa versus Remo, Gombe versus Plateau United. Those games are on, and really NPFL this season has been fantastic for the fact that the Abrig League seems to be getting a lot of support for the fact that it's very competitive right now. Well, all the teams are participating in 18 matches each, and right now match day 9 have been played, and we're having the remaining matches coming up. Meanwhile, they will be resuming after the elections for them to continue with the remaining 9, where they will get the top 3 in each group that will be playing in the Super 6, talking about the NPFL there. Now, we move away from NPFL, let's talk about games. They were actually played over the weekend in La Liga, Santander, as some people call it. Matches were played, and we look at the result, and also the table alongside. Girona defeated Almeria 6-2. That game was on Friday. Rest aside that, 1-1 against Celta Vigo. You have Betis defeating Real Valladolid. Villarreal, Samuel Chukwueze was able to score, but the team still lost out against Mallorca 4-2. Osasuna lost against Real Madrid in that game. Real Madrid was able to win that particular match, and that's a good one for them. Elche against Espanyol ended 1 in favor of Espanyol. Sevilla, Rayo Vallecano 1-1. You have Atletico Bilbao, who were pipped by Atletico Madrid. It was like a derby because both teams are actually athletic. Barcelona defeated Cadiz, and you have Sergio Roberto and Lewandowski to the rescue there, getting 2 goals against Cadiz, and it ended in favor of the Blue Runners. Now, looking at the way the table is standing after playing these games in in Spanish La Liga, match day 22, Barcelona, they are topping with 59, extra 8 ahead of Real Madrid, actually cut it from 13 where they went for the FIFA Club World Cup over there in Morocco, but now is 8 points behind between the two, 38-29 in goal difference. Sociedad, they have 43 points following Real Madrid, while Atletico Madrid actually stand the 41 points. Real Betis are trailing. You have Vallecano, Bilbao, Mallorca, and Villarreal. That's how Machukwue's team. They fought hard, but they lost that game against Mallorca. So they have 31 points, the same point. But just checking out how it is right now. Osasuna against, they are having 30 points. And if you look at the bottom of the table, it's also very, very tough there. You have Valencia, you have Getafe, Elche, and also all of them fighting to see how they can get better. But for Elche, we just have 9 points from 22 matches. A tall order for them right now. If they are to still play La Liga next season, it's going to be a tough one. Emmanuel, I see you looking at my face as if I'm the one that said they should not score. Seriously.
I think for Elche, they should just be from now. They should just tell La Liga farewell. They should be back to. They should be preparing themselves for the Segunda B in Spain, because 9 points sitting, they can't get out of that place. Because for them to get out of that position is going to take a very huge miracle. And if it happens, then miracles are bound to happen. It happens in football. But for this one to happen, it's going to be difficult.
Okay, let's focus on 2 matches. Let's focus on Real and Barcelona. Real Madrid, we know what they did at the Club World Cup. They won it. And then as at that time, before they came back, 13 points was waiting for them. Now they've won 2 matches back-to-back, and that has given them 6 points. They've reduced the tally from that 13 or 15 thereabout to now 8.
8 points. They were on the table before Barcelona took over. They lost that first position carelessly. And we can also spare them because they were on 25 matches unbeaten streak in all competition before they started dwindling. And you know, they are humans. It's going to show on them because they've actually stretched the likes of Modric. They have stretched themselves all through the course of
all of them.
All through the course of the season. So it was not taking a toll on them, and people started saying, okay, it's time for Don Carlo to leave the team, this and that, and they got themselves prepared for the FIFA Club World Cup, and they won it. 8 points as it stands right now, 59, and then they are on 51. 8 points can be gotten in 3 games. Is Barcelona ready to lose 3 games? Are they ready to drop points in the next 3-4 games? It's not left for Barcelona, and I think the gap will be reduced. But at the end of the day, I'm looking at Barcelona to actually win the league. But you know, Real Madrid, whenever they pick up form, then they can turn things around. I made mention of this. Somebody was saying they want to be losing La Liga matches so that they can come and win the Champions League again. Can they do it this season? They've done it back to back. It's not left for Real Madrid to keep pushing and then see how they can usurp Barcelona from that top position. Both of them have good players, but we can look at Barcelona's side. They have young players who don't actually have experience, but we can say they've mixed the young and experience. The likes of Lewandowski, who is a league winner, their captain Sergio Busquets, who is also a league winner, Champions League winner. He has won everything in football. So these are some of the experienced players. They have Ter Stegen, who are still with them. So Barcelona can win the league, but 8 points can be reduced in 3 games. So if Barcelona don't sit up in 3 games, then they should forget about winning the league.
Well, Barcelona really, from the way I see them, they know that they have a chance to top this particular league, and they will not be ready to draw the bat, no matter how it is, because they know that they are in the Europa Cup. They are not playing Champions League. This is a chance for them. If they can win this league, at least automatically. But if they win Europa Cup too, anyway,
they'll go back to Champions.
Yes.
They will go back to Champions League. But the thing is, you know, Europa engagement is always very tough. they had to play a lot of matches, and you travel to long distance, and that is another disadvantage for Barcelona staying at the top of the table. So you saw the way they struggled against Manchester United, and if they are able to cross the hurdle of Manchester United, which is not looking so possible for them,
they are coming
because they are going to Old Trafford. So if they bow out of the Europa League, then they should be comfortable at the top of the La Liga table.
Well, let's see what will be happening there in La Liga, because right now Barcelona seems to be ready to run away with it. 8 points ahead of the Los Merengues, as they really try their best to make sure they widen the gap before they come back from the Club World Cup, meeting the home so large when it comes to points. Good one for Barcelona. Even for Real Madrid, they've cut the points to 8 points, and anything can still happen right now. Let's talk about German Bundesliga. Bayern Munich were defeated by Borussia Mönchengladbach. Looking at the result there, 3-2, 5-goal thriller. You have Augsburg 1 against 899 Hoffenheim. Stuttgart 3-0. They won their game. Freiburg, Leipzig, you have Werder Bremen losing against Eintracht Frankfurt. Union Berlin versus Schalke 04 ending 0-0. That will have given chance to Union Berlin. They won their game against Bayern at the top. You have Borussia Dortmund. They were able to do it at the Volkswagen Arena, talking about the fact that Signal Iduna Park against Hertha Berlin 4-1. Bayer Leverkusen 2-3 against Mainz 0-5. Well, Wolfsburg, they lost their game at the Volkswagen Arena to Leipzig. You just have to give it to that team. Leipzig seems to be the Atalanta of Italian Serie A over there in Germany. Surprising everyone when it comes to football. And for Bayern Mönchengladbach, a match that you can tell the biggest, because attention was on Borussia Mönchengladbach. It wasn't easy for them to actually defeat them, but Mönchengladbach was able to get it to the song, and they won that game 3-2, 5-goal thriller there. Bayern, they dropped the bet on there. Now let's look at the table as it stands in the German Bundesliga. Despite that particular loss, they have the same points now with Borussia Dortmund, with Union Berlin. They have 43 points, but on goal difference of scoring 40 goals. You can't take that away from this team. 40 goals from 21 matches. Borussia Dortmund are second are having 17 goals. Union Berlin have 11 goals, but Bayern are running away with 40 goals. Even if the league should end this way, I'm not saying it's going to end this way, but if, because they are playing lesser matches, they have 18 clubs in this league, so they are playing 36 matches, and you look at 21 actually down, you still have how many to go, so it's still open for anyone.
It's open, but if the league should end this way with the way it stands, then we will say
15 matches to go.
15 matches to go. We will say Bayern Munich will be the champions. I think what Bayern Munich normally do is this: they love to score a lot of goals, so that if whatever may be the case, keep scoring the goals, then keep fighting for the points. If any other team meets up and you are level on points, then if it comes to goals, you are sure of winning the league. And for Bayern Munich against Borussia Mönchengladbach, we might say because of the red card, they lost that game. And their new man was not on the side. He just came back from injury. That's Sadio Mane, which was a good news for Hansi Flick, who was actually happy for Mane coming back into the side. And for Mane coming, you know what he's going to bring into the team. The likes of Serge Gnabry and the rest of them have missed his services. And that is what the other, where he left, are suffering these days. So they are enjoying his services. He's a good player up front. He gives that support. Though the likes of Joe Martin and the rest of them have covered up, but not with the likes of services they would have required that Mane gives to them. And losing the game against Borussia Mönchengladbach, it was 5-goal thriller. Bayern Munich went ahead. They went down and they came back. They equalized. They went ahead 2-1. It was Mönchengladbach came back and then added to it and leveled up and then got that win. Before the win, Upamecano got a red card. Upamecano, I beg your pardon, was red carded and he was sent out of that game, and the pressure was much on Bayern Munich, so they considered that third goal. But overall, they are still at the top of the table. They still have the chance. Some of their injured likes of Mane is back and other players, so they are still looking good to win the league.
Well, from the way it is right now, Eintracht Frankfurt are 6 on the log, following Leipzig, who actually have 39, 38. And you look at Borussia Mönchengladbach that defeated Bayern, they have 8 on the log with 29 points. Mainz 05, 29. Bayer Leverkusen, they have 27. Right now, is the battle is between the big 3 or 4 or 5 there. Werder Bremen, FC Cologne, Augsburg, Stuttgart, Hoffenheim, Bochum, Hertha Berlin, and Schalke 04 right now are not finding it easy. Schalke 04 seems to be the Elche of German Bundesliga this season. And you look at this season seems to be tough in the German Bundesliga because a lot of people are looking at if Bayern by now are having the same point with Union Berlin, you understand? And that shows that
something has changed.
Something has changed.
Because
before now, you see them going with 18 points, 16 points, 12 points ahead of others.
I think they win the league before the end of the season.
They normally win before 4 matches to
spare. Now, something has changed. I think other teams have woken up. They actually want to also get the fair share of the league, and which Bayern Munich is actually not finding it funny. The likes of Borussia Dortmund was the one giving them a run for their money, but let me say 2-3 seasons now, Borussia Dortmund has not really shown a class. So, and that is what they are suffering at this point in time. So, and for Union Berlin, this was the team that got promoted 2 seasons back. Yes, 2 seasons back, and they've stayed on the league, and then now they are contesting the league with Bayern Munich. And if they actually get it right at the end of the season, if something happens, Bayern drop more points, then either Borussia Dortmund or Union Berlin will win the league.
Well, from the way it is right now, the battle is open for Bayern, Borussia Dortmund, and also Union Berlin. Even don't write off the likes of Leipzig there, Mönchengladbach, all of them are fighting hard to see how they can better their lot in the German Bundesliga that we used to know by now. The Bavarians could have run away with it, but this time around, it seems things are changing. Now, quickly, let's look at Italian Serie A. Inter Milan did well. They won their game. AC Milan also. Well, let's quickly look at the result. 3-1. Lukaku was able to score there against Udinese. You have AC Milan. They beat Monza 1-0. 2-1 for Bologna against Sampdoria. Napoli, Victor Osimhen and Kvaratskhelia making it 2-0 for Napoli against Sassuolo, where Osimhen got his 100 goals so far in his career. You have Roma pipping LS Verona by a lone goal. Juventus also did well, 2-0. Juventus are not dropping at all because as if the 15-point doctor has geared them up for serious performance. Lazio 2, Salernitana 0. Fiorentina and Empoli ended 1-1. Lecce, they defeated Ademola Lookman's team 2-1 in that game. What a way for Lookman's team to lose that game there. For Inter Milan, good one for them. Lukaku is back and he was able to score in that particular encounter. Now, looking at how the table is still standing in the Italian Serie A, Napoli are really making a lot of statements, a lot of goals, 41 goals, 62 points. Inter are second with 47 points. Well, you have 15-point difference between the two right now. Inter Milan, they have 17 points. Roma, they have 44, 11 goals different. You have AC Milan, 44 also alongside Roma, but on goal difference of 9-11. Lazio are standing 5th. They have staged Atalanta there to 42 points, 5th and 6th. Juventus, who actually was deducted off by 15 points, are now 7th on the log. What a way to perform. They have 32 points. You have Bologna 32, Torino 30, Udinese they have 30. And if let's assume you're adding 15 points to this for Juve now, they will have been at least be on about 47.
47. I think they will be on the
second
or third because of okay, they will be on the second position because they have 19 goal difference.
Yes, they will have upstaged Inter Milan. But despite that, they are still able to fight hard to come into 7th position.
Yeah, you mentioned it already. Because it's as if the 15 points deducted actually spurred them on to do well. And after that 15 points, They won 3 matches straight on the bounce in all competitions. 3 straight, I think 4 matches on the bounce after that 15 points. And when they were winning those games, I said, okay, it's as if these 15 points they deducted from this guy didn't even shake, they didn't even do anything to the team. And that is what you want to, that is the spirit of the champion. They are former champions of this league, and they know how to play the Italian Serie very well. So I'm not surprised where they are right now. They faced this same situation before where they were relegated to Serie B. They won all their matches. They went unbeaten in Serie B and came back to Serie A. So for Juve, I think it actually spurred them on. And for Napoli, Napoli for 62 points, 41 goal difference. I think they are better in all departments. In all departments, they have outshone every other team following them, so they deserve to be at the top. And for Victor Osimhen, 100 goal of his career in his footballing career. What a way to make a statement in Europe and even in Africa. For the very first time, with just 196 games, you are having 100 goals. The likes of Messi and the rest of them took them 200 something games before they could score 100 goals, career goals. So it's a good one for Napoli, topping the table. And at the end of the, I love the way they are keep giving us in that space. Maybe at the end of the day, they might have just maybe 3 games to spare to the end of the season, and then they should be celebrating their victory.
Well, for right now, Juventus, they've really surprised everyone with 32 points after playing 23 matches, despite being deducted of 15 points. Torino, Bologna, and Udinese in that order there. Now, let's flip it to the other side. Monza, who lost their game against AC Milan. They are 29 points. You have Empoli, Lecce. Well, the likes of Cremonese, who actually just came to the league, Sampdoria, Verona, they need to up their game or else. They are going back to Serie B, Spezia, Salernitana, Sassuolo, Fiorentina in that pecking order. But for Cremonese, we have Nigerians there. And to be very, although, you just have to up their game if they don't want to get relegated. But for just having 8 points from 22 matches, that's a big one. They've considered 25 goals. That shows that they've been the one being defeated by almost all the clubs in Italia. So they are. Quickly, let's look at French Ligue 1. PSG, they did well. They were able to win their game there. PSG, well, they won by 4-3. You have Messi, you have Mbappe, Neymar, all scoring to make that count against Lille. It was a tough one for them. A 7-goal thriller. Messi was able to score, and the good thing is that Mbappe got a brace, and you just have to give out to all those guys showing their class. That goal of Messi, well, fantastic one there. Talking about the result now, still looking at what is going down there over there in French Ligue 1. Toulouse against Marseille was 3-2. 5-goal thriller also. Nantes, team of Simon Moses, they lost to Lens 3-1. You have Montpellier 1-0 against Troyes, while Clermont lose against it was Reims actually carried the day 2-0. Ajaccio against Lorient 3-0. A lot of people were expecting Kolani Balogun to score that penalty. He couldn't score it, but they play 0-0. It's like giving them at least 1-0 against OGC Nice. That is the team of Teremofi. Teremofi didn't score. Fala Balogun didn't score. And he would have scored that, but penalty, he couldn't make it. Auxerre defeated Lyon by 2-1 in that encounter. Now, if we look at the table, PSG are really running away with extra 5 points. With they have 57. They score a lot of goals, 36 against Marseille. Actually have 26-10 difference. You have 52 points. Monaco 50 points, 22 goals. You have Lens, Reims, Lille, who fought hard against PSG. They have 41 points and they have 12 goals so far, minus what they've conceded. Lorient, they have 39 points, 3 goals. OGC Nice, Lyon, Reims. Now, let's look at the other side of it before Emmanuel will do justice to PSG's match. Toulouse are standing 11. You have Clermont, Nantes, that's Moses Simon's team. They have 28 points from 24 matches, minus 4 in goals. In fact, they've considered more goals than they've scored. Montpellier, minus 10. Strasbourg, Brest, you have Troyes, Auxerre, Ajaccio, and Enga. The way Engas and Ajaccio are going right now with Auxerre, even Troyes, all of them are not fighting hard enough, but they are down the pecking order. But for PSG, they've actually extended the gap again to 5 points. and a good one for them for being able to do this.
Yeah, we call that team Aries of Stars, and for Christopher Galtier, I think Galtier has had a lot of headache selecting his team. So for them, it was a good comeback against Lee in that game, and Lee also they are champions of the league. So for PSG, they've had I think they have had their worries, their fair shares of issues of the season. So winning that game is just a morale booster and confidence going forward to see how they can widen the gap. 5 points as it stands. So let's see what happens at the end of the day.
Good one there. Now, quickly, matches will be coming up also. Let's look at those games. Getafe, Valencia, you have Cremonese. Hopefully, they win today against Torino. Torino, we have Ola Aina in that team. A big one there for all those matches that will be coming up. Getafe, Valencia, Torino, Cremonese. And quickly, let's run through some stories in the world of transfer. Where Bayern Munich, PSG in the race for Chelsea and Morocco winger Hakim Ziyech. They want to go for him. Formerly it was PSG, but now Bayern Munich, they've joined the race for the winger Hakim Ziyech, who really did well for Morocco at the World Cup. And another one says Barcelona are keeping tabs on Manchester City midfielder, talking about Rodri. Rodri in an £80 million deal. Barcelona wants to get him, and they are really watching what is happening concerning Rodri. Fantastic player, if you ask me there. Now, Sevilla are keen on a loan deal for Manchester City Spanish fullback Sergio Gomez. They want to get Gomez, and right now Sevilla, who are not really doing well in La Liga, coming from Man City, Sergio Gomez, will he leave? Do you think he will leave?
He might leave because he's loaned out of the team. Man City, we might say, though that movement might not be too sure, because everybody never expected João Cancelo to leave the team, so they will want to use him as a cover-up.
Well, from the way it is right now, they might just want to use him as cover-up. But really, Manchester City with Sergio Gomez, let's see what happens concerning that. We're giving you update concerning all the league matches and results, rather tables have been played, and the one slated for tonight. As we speak right now, NPFL ongoing now, Sarawa Remo starts there. But we have to go right now. Emmanuel Fashemi, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me on the show.
I am Adini Ajishafe. Thanks for watching.